What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of next-gen gaming with a head-to-head matchup, the Sony PlayStation 5 versus the Microsoft Xbox Series X. These two titans have been battling it out since launch, each vying for a spot in your living room. We're talking specs, we're talking game libraries, we're talking everything you need to know to decide which console reigns supreme. We'll break down the good, the bad, and everything in between, so whether you're a hardcore gamer, a casual player, or just someone trying to figure out which console to snag, buckle up because things are about to get technical. Alright, let's kick things off by popping the hood and taking a look at what makes these consoles tick. On paper, the Xbox Series X edges out the PS5 with a slightly more powerful CPU and GPU. It boasts a custom-designed 8-core AMD Zen 2 processor clocked at 3.8 GHz, compared to the PS5's 3.5 GHz. The Xbox also packs a 12 teraflop GPU, while the PS5 comes in at 10.28 teraflops. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does any of that even mean? In the simplest terms, it means the Xbox Series X has the potential to push more graphical power. We're talking potentially higher resolutions, smoother frame rates, and more detailed environments. But, and this is a big but, raw power isn't everything. The PS5 has a secret weapon up its sleeve, its custom SSD. This thing is lightning fast with read speeds up to 5.5 GB/s, significantly faster than the Xbox's 2.4 GB per s. What does that translate to in the real world? Significantly faster loading times, near instantaneous fast travel, and potentially even new gameplay mechanics that leverage that speed. So, while the Xbox might have a slight edge in raw power, the PS5's SSD could be a game changer. Both consoles support 4K resolution gaming, with the Xbox pushing towards 8K in some titles. The PS5, however, is gunning for a more immersive experience with its support for 120Hz refresh rates on compatible TVs. This means super smooth gameplay, which is a dream come true for fast-paced action titles. When it comes to RAM, both consoles are neck and neck with 16 GB of GDDR6 memory. It's a tie in the storage department too, with both offering a 1 TB custom NVMe SSD. Now let's talk about what each console brings to the table in terms of advantages. The Xbox Series X is a beast when it comes to backwards compatibility. Microsoft has put a ton of effort into making sure you can play games from previous Xbox generations, and it shows. We're talking thousands of games spanning back to the original Xbox. For many, this is a huge selling point, especially if they're upgrading from an older Xbox. The PS5's backwards compatibility is a bit more limited, focusing primarily on PS4 titles. However, this is where the PS5's other big advantage comes into play, the DualSense controller. This thing is a game changer, with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers that add a whole new level of immersion. Imagine feeling the tension of drawing back a bowstring in Horizon Forbidden West, or the rumble of a car engine in Gran Turismo 7. It's next-level stuff. The Xbox controller, while familiar and comfortable, doesn't quite reach the same level of innovation. When it comes to game subscription services, both consoles have their own offerings. Xbox Game Pass is often hailed as the best deal in gaming, offering access to hundreds of games for a monthly fee. It's a fantastic value, especially if you're new to the Xbox ecosystem, or just like to try a lot of different games. PlayStation Plus is Sony's answer to Game Pass, and while it's evolved over time, it still doesn't quite match the sheer value proposition of Game Pass. However, it does give you access to online multiplayer, cloud saves, and a selection of free games each month. Now, it wouldn't be a fair comparison if we didn't talk about the downsides. Let's start with the Xbox Series X. One of the biggest complaints I've heard is that it lacks a true killer app at launch. While it has a solid library of games, there wasn't that one system-selling exclusive that made everyone say, "I need to get an Xbox for this." The PS5, on the other hand, launched with titles like Demon's Souls and Spider-Man Miles Morales, which showcased the console's power and capabilities. Another point of contention with the Xbox Series X is its design. While some appreciate the minimalist, monolithic look, others find it bulky and uninspired. The PS5's design is much more polarizing, with its futuristic curves and bold two-tone color scheme. You either love it or you hate it, there's no in-between. Moving on to the PS5, one of the most common complaints is the limited storage space. That 1 TB SSD fills up fast, especially with the massive file sizes of next-gen games. While you can expand the storage with compatible NVMe SSDs, they can be quite expensive. The Xbox Series X offers a slightly more affordable storage expansion option with its proprietary expansion cards, but they're still not exactly cheap. Another issue some users have with the PS5 is its user interface. While it's visually impressive, some find it to be a bit convoluted and less intuitive than the Xbox's UI, which is more streamlined and customizable. Let's talk numbers, because in the console wars, sales figures speak volumes. As of right now, the PS5 is outselling the Xbox Series X globally. This isn't entirely surprising given PlayStation's dominance in the previous generation. Sony has a strong brand loyalty and a massive install base worldwide. However, Microsoft is no slouch in the gaming department. The Xbox Series X is holding its own, particularly in key markets like the United States and the United Kingdom. Microsoft's strategy of focusing on its subscription service, Game Pass, seems to be paying off, attracting a wider audience of gamers. It's also worth noting that the global semiconductor shortage has impacted both consoles, making them harder to find in the wild. This makes it difficult to gauge the true demand for each console, as supply chain issues are playing a significant role in sales figures. Ultimately, it's still too early to declare a clear winner in this console generation. Both the PS5 and Xbox Series X offer incredible gaming experiences, and the battle for market share is likely to continue for years to come. Now let's move beyond the raw specs and talk about some of the other features that make these consoles stand out. One area where the PS5 shines is its three-dimensional audio technology. Using the Tempest engine, the PS5 creates immersive soundscapes. Whether it's the creaks in Resident Evil or the crowd in NBA 2K23, the audio adds realism. The Xbox Series X supports Dolby Atmos and Windows Sonic for headphones. It delivers excellent spatial audio, enhancing immersion. Both consoles offer 4K Blu-ray playback and streaming apps. They support Netflix, Disney+, and HDR content. The PS5 can output at 1440p resolution. The Xbox Series X outputs at 1080p or 4K. Finally, let's talk about the gaming ecosystems. Sony delivers incredible single-player experiences with franchises like God of War and The Last of Us. The PS5 continues that legacy with upcoming titles. Xbox is building up its first-party studios. With franchises like Halo and Forza, Xbox aims to be a powerhouse. So there you have it, guys, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, two incredible consoles with their own strengths and weaknesses. At the end of the day, the best console for you depends on your individual needs and preferences. Are you all about that raw power and backwards compatibility? Xbox Series X might be your jam. Do you prioritize immersive experiences with innovative controllers and a strong lineup of exclusives? PS5 could be your winner. But enough about what I think. Let me know in the comments down below which console you're rocking with or planning to pick up and why. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe for more epic tech showdowns. Peace out.